All right, sweet, you guys. So, first and foremost, for everybody brand new on this call, I want to say thank you for showing up and taking, 20, 30 minutes out of your day. I know for some of us, it's 7 o'clock Eastern. You could be eating dinner, but you guys want to learn how to make some money. So, I think the first question you should be asking yourself, and you're all wondering, is will this make you some money? And this is exactly what we're going to go through. And is this going to put you guys in a better financial situation than you're currently in? So I'm going to go ahead and share a little bit about me so you know who's speaking to you, who your mentor is going to be, because that's always the first thing that you got to figure out is whose advice are you taking, right? You just don't want to take anybody's advice. So I'm 24 years old. A little bit about me growing up. So my parents were divorced. Mom worked a 9 to 5 job. Dad ran his own company. Early on in my life, I saw my mom like really struggle with bills, and then I'd spend a week with her, and then with my dad, I saw he ran his own company, and we could go out and do cool shit. To be honest, like just do vacations and stuff. So I knew I wanted to be in business for myself. But like most of you, I went to college and I was looking for a way out because I didn't think college was going to be the best route for me. So I had a buddy named Garrett who walks through the door, and we lived with four guys at the time. And this kid is like smiling ear to ear. And I'm like, gee, like, why are you so excited, man? Like, you just find the love of your life. He's like, no, bro, like, dude, I just made $1,000 in an hour. I was like, what? Like $1,000 in an hour, dude? Are you selling drugs? And he's like, no, dude, I'm selling life insurance. And at first I was like, wait, like, what is that? I've never heard of it. Like, kind of break it down. And he's like, dude, we get warm leads, people telling us that they want our products. We call them up, and within an hour, you essentially give your presentation. And when you sell them, on average, you make $1,000 a deal. So I was like, all right, I might as well just give this thing a shot. Like, right, I got nothing to lose. And so at 20 years old, I started doing this. In my first month, I saw $8,000 deposit in my bank account. And then, guys, I was working 60 plus hours a week. I want to be clear, but I was like, all right, that was pretty good. And then I buckled down. And my second month, I'm going to be straight up with you guys. I put up 47K, which in like our terms is roughly like 36, 37K in deposits. So within a 60-day time period, my life completely changed. I'll be upfront. Like this has completely changed my life. We'll go through some testimonies and stuff, but that's how I was introduced. That's a little bit about me, and this is one of my best friends and business partner, Mahmoud Nasser. So take it from here, bro.
Yep. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Mahmoud Nasser. I'm 23 years young, and I got introduced into the industry 2.5 years ago. And a little bit on myself. So I grew up with five other siblings, and my dad was always like the hard worker, the household providing for us essentially. And like I saw what it took, to provide for the family. And I never saw my dad really because he was always working. And I just knew I wanted to be able to provide for my family and always be there for them. So like as I was finishing up with my business finance and management degree, I was selling used cars, working an internship, and like honestly, like, I had $1,500 to my name, and I was graduating in a month. And like I've been watching Wiley for it was coming up on 2 years. It was like 18 months to be exact. And I was seeing his Instagram, like his life essentially changed, like he said, like he was traveling, making money, and like he was just moving different. And I was just like, he would share the opportunity with me, and I thought it was too good to be true, essentially. And like again, I was finishing college, probably my last 30 days, and I was just like, you know what? F it. I got $1,500 to my name. Like if it works out, it works out. If not, like I can go get a job. Like I just got a degree. So I put my head down, and my first month I deposited probably like $7,000. And I was like, all right, this is real. Like I saw some money, and then I put my head down, went to work. And then my first year I sold over 500 grand of insurance. And then I went on to did it again my second year. And then now I've been able to scale a team and teach others how to do the same thing. And it's crazy because like again, when I met Wiley when I was 16, he was not the brightest individual. Seeing him like always like sparked my mind. I'm like, dude, if he's out there doing it, like why not me?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's huge. And like just to kind of build on what Mahmood was just saying is we don't have to have any hard skills. Like we don't have to run a 4.40 or be able to jump 40 inches in the air. Like this just requires work ethic and consistency and coachability. And I'm going to be honest, there is 90 people within our group all making very good money. But there's also a handful of people that come in here, don't follow the processes, don't work hard, don't stay consistent, and they do not make money. I'm not going to lie to you guys about that. So you got to decide who you want to be. Now, we're going to go through the whole model real quick. So let me share my screen. All right, where is the slideshow? There we go. All right. So this is the agency overview. So Mahmoud, we'll just switch back and forth, but a couple key things. This is not a job, folks. All right. This is a business. You are a real business owner here. So the sooner you treat it like one, the sooner you will be paid like a real business person. If you guys work this like Uber Eats or whatever, you will get paid like Uber Eats. You eat what you kill, which I like the most. Also, it's a journey. So some people take a year to start making 20K. Me and Mahmoud, I'll be up front, have been anomalies. We've came in and had really fast starts. There's been plenty of guys that do have fast starts, but it is a process. If you're looking to make a shit ton of money right away and just get rich quick, this is not it. You do have to learn skills. The third thing is we get rejected and hear no every single day. So I probably hear no 200 plus times a day. Mahmoud probably hears no, 200 plus times a day as well. So just get used to that. And the fourth thing, we've already discussed this, but this will take work. Like this is not easy. It's not. We're not going to lie to you. Now, Mahmoud, if you want to talk about leads.
Yeah. So guys, in any sales industry, whether you have sales experience or not, there's something called a lead. And for those of you that don't know what a lead is, it's someone that's shown some type of interest in your product, service, whatever you're selling. So there's three types of leads out there. You have your warm market, which is your friends, family. There's only so many you can sell to, which is great, but I didn't want to sell, be that one guy at the family dinners, trying to sell them.
Mm-hmm.
Two, you can cold call people, which no one wants to do. It's 2024. They don't want to go door knock random people or cold call random numbers. Or three, you can do what we all do, and it's simply just buying our leads. And that might sound scary to some, but simply we're just investing in our lead flow, which is buying people's information that have sent in a request for help with whether it's their burial insurance, mortgage protection, retirement planning. So there's a few different types. There's internet leads, if they've sent out a request for a quote online or Google, the Integrity Lead Center, and then there's the social media final expense, which is what a majority of us are running. We've seen like the most efficiency and profitability with it, just selling people over the age of 50, 60, making sure their burial cremation's covered, leaving some money behind for their loved ones. And the average commission on those we're seeing is like 700, $1,000, a little bit over.
Mm-hmm. Mahmoud, will you go through like what our average agent spends a week on leads and then what his ROI is?
Yeah, so I'd say our average full-time agent is spending anywhere from like $1,200 to $1,600 a week every single week on their leads. And what that's getting them is anywhere from like 30 to 50 people to call a day. And essentially they're able to, sell 2 to 3 deals a day. And they're selling anywhere from like 10 to $16,000 in life insurance. And
Yep.
those are the full-time guys. The part-time guys we're seeing, they're spending like $500 to $800 a week, and they'll see anywhere from like $4,000 to $8,000.
Yeah.
Essentially, like again, you're buying more leads, you have more people to call with just a simple numbers game. You're gonna close more deals.
Yep. And we have a couple different types of programs. We have lead assist programs, which we'll talk about, where we actually buy the leads for you and then put you at a lower commission so you can get your feet on the ground and get paid. But what we're seeing, guys, is usually between a 5 to 7x on your investment. So if you spend 1,000, you're going to be returning 5K to 7,000 in your bank account. Obviously, if you're a top performer, you'll have more, but we want to talk about averages on here. All right, so let's talk about how do you guys get paid? So if you guys appreciate my little drawing of this little stick figure, will you guys put a 1 in the chat? Because I worked really freaking hard on drawing that thing. I'm just kidding. But anyway, so We get paid based on the client's monthly payment. So for example, if the client pays $100 a month, which is everyone look in the bottom right-hand corner, you times that number by 12 to figure out what the client pays for a year. So 100 times 12 is $1,200. So the first way you get paid is you're going to get 75% of this up front, which is it's $900. When do you get paid this? So when the client makes their first payment, which typically on average is about 2 weeks, they're going to make their first payment. And then that's when you see the 75% up front. Now, where does the other 25% go? That's going to be called back-end money. So the other 300 or whatever the 25% is going to, even out to, that gets paid out to you on month 10, 11, and 12. Boom. Now, the third way is going to be renewals. This is the thing that excited me the most about the life insurance industry. So after you've been, here a year, what's going to happen is this: about 80% of your products, all whole life products, have a renewal. So what does that mean for you guys? So if the renewal is 8% on $1,000 commission policy, that's going to be $80 a year. So some people will keep their policies for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. That means for, let's say he keeps it for 30 years, you make $80 every single year for the next 30 years. It does not sound like a lot, you guys, but it does add up. So for myself, my renewal, my residual is about $60,000 a year after all the clients I've sold in the past 4 years. I sold at a very high level and always produced because that was like my number one priority. So this is cool because the work that you put in today, tomorrow, and the next day can pay you for the next year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. On top of this, you guys, if you have children or some, people you care about, when you pass away, you can pass down your residual and your book of business to your children, to your wife, whoever it is. So you really set up that next future generation. Now, number 4, if you guys are looking to build a team, let's talk about overrides. So everyone's commission, let's just say everyone comes in at 100% commission. And let's say Mahmoud's commission is 110. So he's going to get the difference between his commission and the agent's, which is 10%. So if an agent sells $20,000 a month, he gets 10% of that, which is equivalent to $2,000. So he's obviously trained them, held them accountable, been a good leader, and earned his override. He's going to get a small percentage. So that's what it looks like to build a team. Number 5 is a team bonus. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail about this, but when you start scaling a team, once you get your team to 150,000 of volume a month, you start receiving a $2,500 a month bonus. Now, this bonus will grow, and the biggest bonus in the whole entire company is $250,000 a month. Absolutely insane. So the bigger your team gets, the bigger the bonus gets. So that's the 5th way you're going to get paid. The 6th way is for you doing your job and selling insurance, because that's our job. You get a producer bonus, which is going to be on the next slide, I believe. Actually, Mahmoud, take this slide and the next one.
Yeah, so this right here is the commission, the compensation grid. So for those of you that have looked in the industry anywhere else, you'll see a lot of places, and specifically the life insurance, start their agents at like a 30% commission, and the maximum they'll be able to get is like a 50 or 70% commission. So whereas here our agents are starting at an 80% commission, as you can see here on the left side of it, if that's zoomed in for you guys. And then you'll be able to see, so starting at 80, if you come in, you sell $10,000 back to back, you'll get bumped up to the 90% commission. And again, if you're selling 10 grand a month here, it's kind of like on the lower end, essentially like on the leaderboards.
Yep.
Our top producers are selling, 60 to 70,000 a month, which is like 3 policies a day, essentially. So you build your way up, and then on the right side of it is for the team. So for those of you that are building an agency on top of producing, you'll see it once you get to $40,000 a month, you'll be at 120% commission, which again, it's good. You're getting paid over 100%, but that's when, if you want to grow more than that, you have to be an agency owner. So once you crack that 150, 2 times in a row as a team, then you'll be able to get that 125, 130, and so on as the agency grows on and on.
Mm-hmm. You got this one, Bella.
And then yeah, this right here is the producer bonus. So put a one in the chat if you love money. Or if you love free money, even better.
I love free money.
So like on top of already doing your job, so like you have to be making some, if you're selling 20K, 30K a month, you're seeing some decent money in your account. So on top of that, like you're getting paid for what you're already doing. So for instance, we had Mason Poikis, he hit his first 30K month and he got a $1,200 bonus. And he was like, dude, that's a free week's worth of leads. Like I got to get this every single month.
That's
And
rent money, baby.
that's rent money, that's lead money, that's non-charge backable money that you got for simply just doing your job. And then if you multiply that by 12, that's an extra anywhere from 15 to 30, $40,000 a year in your family's pocket simply for doing your job. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and that's on top of the carrier bonuses that they pay us for doing applications like AIG. If you write 20 and a quarter, they'll give you $8,000 on top of what you already did, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
It's huge. All right, cool. So I'm going to be brief on this one. So guys, what we use to communicate is called Slack. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Slack, excuse me, and if you're new on here, but this is where we post all our daily sales. So let's go through it. So we got Ernesto who sold 772 for SIWO. If you guys, there's a lot of information that we're giving you. SIWO is the product that we sold them, and then the amount of commission that we're making. So Ernesto made $772. Then we got Chris, $890. Then we have Zero Dark 30, who's known as Ronnie Salem. He had a monster sale for $12,229. Then we have Mahmood, who's obviously, running this call with me, a sale for $1,000. Amin, 656. Calvin, 2,400. Chris, again, for $396. So this is how we communicate with each other. And if you guys go and look in our Slack, you're going to see all of our agents consistently posting at least a sale a day, getting after it. It's super exciting.
And so guys, like these are some of the carriers we work with. And for those of you that recognize some of them like Mutual of Omaha, AIG, Aetna, these are literally like the top carriers in the US. And we're really able to put the clients in the best spot. And that's how we're able to get paid the best commission essentially. It's like when we call a client and they already have coverage in place, if they got it within the last year or two, 90% of the time, we're able to put the client in a better spot and we're able to get, paid right for it as the agent. And again, like having that clip and artillery essentially of having multiple products is clutch. Because again, a lot of people in the insurance space, they're captive. They're only able to sell one product with one company. Whereas we have a wide range of options, so we're able to serve our clients to the fullest. And it just gives us reputation off the bat. Like, hey, I work with Mutual of Omaha. They've been around since the 1800s. Like you watched their show growing up, Wild Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, yeah, it just gives us credibility off the bat. And it's a blessing to be able to work with these top carriers in the States.
Yep. And in sales, you got to believe in what you do and putting the clients in the best position. The biggest reason why we have so many carriers, without a shadow of a doubt, we're always putting our clients in the number one position for them. So other companies cannot come under us and, undercut our deals, which we just talked about. So let's go into our next one. So our training process. So guys, we got a couple things for our training. If you guys decide to work here and if we think you're a good fit, what's going to happen is this: you're going to get your insurance license, which you'll talk to your mentor about, whoever sent you this Zoom. Then from there, you're going to go through an online boot camp where we go through everything from A to Z on lead types, objections, scripts. We'll role play with you. And then you get paired up with the mentor who actively sells 40 plus $1,000 a month. Because guys, we want you to learn from people that are doing this every single day, hearing the same objections as you. And what they're going to do is they're going to make sure you're fine-tuned with your scripts, fine-tuned with your objections. So by the time you get on the phones and start selling, you have a concrete foundation and you're going to be able to handle the I need to think about it, the I need to shop around. And so at this point, you're going to have someone that you can always call at any time to answer any questions. So that's going to be our training process.
And here's the weekly call schedule. Take a screenshot, take a picture of it real quick. On Mondays, we have our base shop builders call. That's for people that have built a 7-figure plus agency and are actively growing, and they'll give you free tricks and tips on what they're doing. It's a live call at 12 Eastern. Watch it while you're eating your lunch or something. All Star, we have our call every Monday. 1 week, we highlight an agent that's crushing it within our industry, that's making money, whether they're new or been here for a while, or the vice versa. We'll bring in an outside guest that's crushing it. Wednesday, as you guys are on, this is the business overview meeting. Just kind of breaks down the industry for those looking to get into it and change their lives. And then on Thursday, this one's personally my favorite training with our very own Zero Dark 30, Ronnie Salem. And this is like the really nitty and gritty sales training where we get in there and do objections, mindset, lead flow, and Q&A, and just going over what you could have done better, how you can improve. And these right here, so yeah, we got Coach and Al, the Raja brothers this week. Like these two are, again, in All-Star, these two are under top 50 in the company, and they're already $600,000 combined for the first half of the year, the two brothers, and they just cracked their year mark. So you don't want to miss that on Thursday. And again, this is free training provided from guys that are making 30, 40 grand a month, and they're not being paid to hop on this call. This is simply for your benefit to help you. And, it's a saying, iron sharpen iron. And it says it right there, winners train, losers complain.
Yeah, perfect. So guys, if you're wondering like what our sales process is like, just put that in your calendar for 7 Eastern, same link, and you guys will see like how we train everybody up. All right, so next up, so in sales, guys, this is going to be a 10,000-foot view. So this is going to be the whole vision for you. You can come in here and make a ton of money selling insurance, multiple 6 figures if you do it right and you work hard, right? You get the picture there. Now, in any opportunity, when do you actually have the chance to exit, sell your book of business? So back in 2018 or 19, I believe, don't hold me accountable to those dates. I'm not exactly sure because I just joined right around then. But we partnered with a private equity company called Integrity Marketing. They're worth $26 billion. They might be worth a little bit more now. But what they do is when you scale your team to a certain size, they will actually buy your book of business from you. And at that point, they're going to give you stock in the company. You're going to negotiate the deal. Everyone's a little different, couple $1 million, right? They're going to take care of all your overhead expenses, put you on salary. So this is a chance where you get to change your family and your generations to come forever, right? If you're, getting paid and you're making 20, $30 million, like that's insane. And so guys, we have the opportunity on the table. And right now we have about, I believe it's 40 partners within side of Family First Life who have done this deal. So just know if you want to build an agency, this is going to be kind of the trophy at the very end of the journey.
And yeah, for those of you that made the cruise, congrats to you. It's already up. But like you saw, from February 7th to May 7th, you sold 100 grand, you got a free cruise. I was on the one last year. It was a great time. Like everyone that's there is a top producer that sells over, $35,000, $40,000 a month. And you're having a good time. Like you have free drinks, you got like the water park. If you like to gamble, there's a casino. And it's just a great time. So I'm excited. Me and a bunch of my guys are gonna be on there. It'll be a great time. On
Cool.
top of our bonuses and everything, we get a free cruise and trips. Like I'm not complaining.
I'm not complaining, except I got to take my mom to New York. I'm gonna miss it.
We'll take it for you. Don't worry.
Yeah, man, take some flicks, bro. All right, guys. So at this point, we've been spitting off a ton of information, and thank you again for bearing with us. We really want to give you a full view of what we're doing on a daily basis. So one of my favorite sayings that Mahmood says is closed mouths never get fed. I mean, you might say it better than me. Is that right?
Closed mouths don't get fed, yeah.
Closed mouths don't get fed. So, guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself. We're going to spend the next 10, 15 minutes answering anything you have. There's no stupid questions. The only stupid question is the one you don't ask. So, feel free to unmute and fire away.
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
What's your best advice to get over the learning curve for a new agent?
Mood, you want to take it?
Yeah. My best advice for you is like, dude, all of us come into this, most of us come in with no experience, not knowing what we're doing. And be in a Zoom, be in a system where you're plugged in and can get some help and run through your first 30 to 40 presentations as quick as possible. To where like you get the why, you give them a quote and try to close them. And then from there, you're going to see a whole bunch of different scenarios, situations. Like just look at those first 30 as that learning curve. Because if you get through 30 presentations, you're going to see a bunch of different scenarios, objections. You should have closed some, you know?
Yeah. How often do you guys do the meetings?
So if you would have screenshotted that last slide, it was like 4 slides before. We're doing a meeting Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. But the other thing to add on to Mahmood is anytime that you miss a sale, immediately you got to go to your mentor and say, hey, at this point in the presentation, the client said this to me. I responded like this. What would you change in my presentation so I don't make the same mistake again? So the whole time you always have to be getting feedback and then applying it to your next sale. And so what I used to do is I would spend an hour every single night in the morning and at night, and I would go through all my objections. I would practice it out loud. I would do it with my ex-girlfriend at the time, and we just go back and forth with objections. So right when they said I need to think about it, boom, I knew exactly how to handle it. But good question.
Okay. Thank you guys.
I've got one real quick, guys. So, do you need any sales experience to come into virtual telesales?
So all right, John Shields on here. He was working at UPS, makes 30K, no sales experience. On T-Mobile, no sales experience, making 30K. Who else do we got? Mahmood, he had sales experience, started making 30K. Caleb Moore, right, construction worker, he makes 30K. I'm gonna go
Muhammad
down the list.
Masri, college dropout.
Musri, college dropout, no sales experience, put up what? How much has he made in the last week?
I mean, shit, just
21K last month.
the last 2, 3 weeks, he's right there. How much have you deposited the last 2, 3 weeks, boy?
2, 3 weeks, like 15K.
He just turned 20, guys, and dropped out in February.
So to answer your question, absolutely not. Fantastic question, Ronnie. I think the biggest thing, guys, is every single one of these people we just listed, all they do is they show up at 9 o'clock in the mornings. They do not stop dialing till they hit their goal. And every single day they're reaching out for advice. So as long as you have a good work ethic, you're coachable and you're consistent, this is a good opportunity for you.
Hey Wiley, I had a quick one.
Yeah, what's up, Dallin?
What would you say, guys that are new to this specific part of the industry, what's the biggest mistake they make within the first month to 2 months?
Yeah. So the biggest mistake is really 2 things. One, if you're coming from a sales background, you need to drop everything that you know and learn the processes over here because it is going to be a little bit different. Now, in life and in business, you're either going to have a big ego and a small business, or you're going to have a big business and a small ego, right? So I always wanted to have a big business, so I had to drop my ego. Now, the second thing, Dallin, is people overthink this thing. So a lot of the times you guys are going to get in your head, you're going to hear no, 40, 50 times in a couple hours, and you're going to be like, dude, like this doesn't work. And then you're going to give up. A lot of people give up when it's tough, but that's right when you're about to experience a breaking point. So those would be the things that I would say. And great question, Dallin. Hey, man, my teacher used to say, not all at once.
I've got one more. So what does a typical schedule look like? How long are you guys dialing for? What does that consist of?
Yeah, so I open my Zoom for the guys at 9 a.m. Eastern. Like some guys like Ramsey, he gets on and starts dialing by himself at 8 a.m., but I think 9 a.m. is like a fair time for everyone. And dude, I'm honestly shooting for 6 to 8 presentations every single day, trying to get 2 to 3 deals done. And what that looks like is whether I'm calling 20 people that hour, 30 people, 40 people that hour, I'm just sitting there dialing the phones 3 times in a row until a lead picks up. And I do that from 9 a.m. until 7, 8 p.m. most days. And again, like I don't mind working without looking at the clock, so I can purchase things without looking at the price tag. It's like I don't mind working 60, 70, 80 hours every single week to shoot for that 40K, 50K income every single month. So I mean, I think it really just depends on the person because we are 1099 here at the end of the day. But like it really just depends on the individual's goals and what they're wanting. If they're wanting to hit Hall of Fame and they're full time here, like there's no reason you shouldn't be on from 9 a.m. to or 9 to 10 a.m. until 6, 7 p.m. Like as long as someone hits their schedule and they're hitting their numbers in their favor, it kind of depends on them. But did you have anything to add for like the schedule?
No.
But yeah, that's me Monday to Saturday, and I take Sundays off.
All right. Any last questions, folks? And we'll wrap this thing up.
I have one. Hi, Mahmood. Hi, Wiley.
Hi.
So, how do you learn to become more consistent? Like where you're making the sales every single week and it's not just so up and down? And how do you learn to like balance your time when you're bringing on new agents, like to still produce and still train them, but still be like good at what you do and, can keep paying everything. So how do you be more consistent?
Hey, Mahmood, you answer the second part. I got the first in regards to like training people at once. All right. So the first thing, it was Celeste, right? I just couldn't see it pop up.
Yeah, it's less.
All right, perfect. Well, hey, Celeste. The first thing is this. So I used to be on this emotional roller coaster where I would put up like 8K in a week, and I'd be like, oh, that's great. And then I would kind of fall off, and then I'd do 10K, fall off, and it was up and down. And I sat down with Zach and I was like, dude, like, what's going on? Like, I need some help. And he's like, if you just focus on your activity every single day and have a non-negotiable of getting 6 to 8 presentations, and that's really the hill that you die on, the result will follow. So then what I started doing was I was like, no matter what, today I will get 6 presentations. If I sell all 6, fantastic. If I sell 0, at least I hit my benchmark of 6 presentations. So even if I sold 3 that day, Celeste, I knew the next day my whole goal was just to get another 6 presentations. Because if you can get 6, we both know, you're going to sell 1 at least, bare minimum. You might have weird days here and there, but you're definitely going to get 1 up. So
Right.
My non-negotiable was just 6 presentations a day. And then I filled my schedule to think about, do I need to dial 8 hours or 10 hours to get that? And then that's when my results started to become consistent.
Right. Thank you, Wiley.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the other half of the question was like how to train and sell at the same time, right?
Right.
So I mean, honestly, like the best way I've seen to do it firsthand is like really just be there on the front lines with them while they're dialing and like letting them know it's okay. You're going to fall on your face. Like the worst thing that's going to happen to you is like, you're just going to get hung up on. So from the
Yeah.
very second they're getting contracted, like before they even dial the phones, like they're reading the script, plugging into Zooms, listening, watching plenty of podcasts. And then when they're dialing, I'm not only like sitting there dialing with them so they can listen to me, whether I'm on Zoom or in person, but I'm right there, or someone's right there being able to listen to them. Or if they need help right there on the spot, they can stick their hand out or they can text the group chat like, hey, I need help. And someone's there to help them right then and there.
Right. Yeah,
And
that's
then,
good.
yeah. And then just coaching them through like their first, again, 30 presentations, being there for them really. And then like you'll see people start to just get it by themselves.
Yeah. Thanks, Mahmood.
Yep. Hope that helps.
All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, Wiley, I got a question for both of you guys. What's the best way to set your goals as a new producer, learn all the new information, everything like that, without overwhelming yourself with everything as well, too?
Yeah, so in regards to goals, you just backtrack them. So what I mean by that is, let's say you want to make $240,000 for the year, or whatever the number, 120K. So if it's 240K for the year, how much is that every month? That's 20,000 a month. How many weeks are in a month? There's 4 weeks in a month, so that's 5K a week. All right, if you work 5 days a week, what do you need to sell every day? 1,000. In order for you to sell $1,000, how many leads do you need? How many hours do you need to work? And so now you have tactical steps in order to hit your goal. So that's what I would think about. What's my goal? Break it down into months, weeks, days, and then daily actions. And then now you have a guideline and a blueprint to follow every single day.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, that makes sense. And then just the part of it being a new agent, learning everything, and a lot of the information could possibly be overwhelming. Is there a way that, you can keep it from overwhelming yourself and taking it, step by step?
Yeah, so I would say first off, get in the framework of don't overthink it. Focus on one thing at a time. If that's just understanding the tonality behind the script, spend the whole day as that's your full focus, just tonality, tonality, tonality. Then the second day, work on one objection that I need to think about it. Now I'm just going to go through and learn that objection. The third day, work on the next objection. So you just add these small things to your bag every single day, but you just want to knock it down, one tree, like just chop down a tree a day.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks, guys.